we want to find the limit as x approaches 0, integral from 0 to x squared sine of t dt minus x squared all over cosine squared minus 1. First thing you should always do is plug in 0 over 0. So when I do that, cosine of 0 is 1. When I square that, it's 1, and then subtract 1. Plug in x equals 0 for x squared, that's 0. And now we just plug in 0 in for x here, so we get 0 squared, which is 0. So the denominator is 0. Now for the numerator, what this integral means is for the graph of sine of x, take the area from 0 to 0. Basically, that's just a point, right? So that area is 0. Therefore, we're going to use L'Hopital's rule. So that means take the derivative of the top and then the derivative of the bottom. So the derivative of the top, we have to use a fundamental theorem of calculus by plugging in x squared in for t, and then chain rule says take the derivative of x squared. The derivative of x squared is 2x. Now take the derivative of cosine squared. You have to use a chain rule here, which means you bring down the exponent, keep the inside the same, and then derivative of the inside. So the derivative of cosine is negative sine. Derivative of negative 1 is 0. And at this point, I'm just going to simplify this. Let's simplify it. So I can factor out a 2x from the top and be left with sine x squared minus 1. On the bottom, I can rewrite this as negative sine of 2x. Since sine of 2x is 2 times sine x cosine x, and at this point, I can plug in x equals 0 and still get 0 over 0. Next, I'm going to use L'Hopital's rule one more time. So we have to take the derivative of the top and the bottom. So the derivative of 2x is 2 times sine x squared minus 1. And the derivative of sine of x squared minus 1, that's going to be, well, take the derivative of sine as cosine, and then derivative of x squared is 2x. Derivative of negative 1 is 0, and then multiply that by 2x. That's going to be all over the derivative of sine of 2x. So that's going to be negative 2 cosine 2x. So now I can plug in x equals 0. So sine of 0, this is going to be 0. 2x, 2 times 0 is 0, times cosine 0. So it's basically 0 times 1, which is 0. And the top, 2 times the quantity 0 minus 1. Basically 2 times negative 1, which will give us negative 2. And then the denominator, cosine of 0 is 1, times negative 2 is negative 2. And so negative 2 over negative 2 is 1. So our limit is 1.